Hey, dude.
Hey man, how's it going?
This is going well. Whew. Outside, it's America, right?
All things said, I like that. I like the color of your wall behind you.
Thanks, man.
Was that an
I
Abby choice?
No, I did that. I did it when she was gone. She did not like it when she got back.
Oh. See, I looked at it and I was like, I like that color. It makes me feel good.
Me too. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it matches your screen thing.
Yeah, can you see my video?
No.
Oh, let me try to fix that.
Yeah. I can hear you fine, and all of that stuff. But let me see if I have it turned on. Maybe I did it, but I don't think so.
All right, I'll figure it out here. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, I see. I did. I got it now. There it is.
There it is. You did get it.
I got it.
Nice.
I'm a technological wonder.
Do you have a Menards hat on?
I did that just for you and Jason. I wanted to show my solidarity with the other half.
That's good, man. Representing Wisconsin today is a tricky proposition.
That's right. And I was sorry about the Badgers win over the Huskers.
Yeah, that's good for you though.
People still gotta unite in the Midwest,
Man, Nebraska got smoked by Ohio State the next week too. That one was
I
more
know.
problematic.
That is problematic.
The Wisconsin Nebraska game was a good game, but the Ohio State Nebraska game was not a good game.
Yeah, they were looking good there the first four games or so, but anyway,
they didn't really play anybody. Is kind of the part of it.
Yeah, Indiana was the worst challenge.
So,
hey, buddy.
Hey.
What's going on?
Oh boy, Jason doesn't know how to use his camera, Phil. I don't know if you've been listening to the podcast, but this is
right here.
constant problem.
It was a $6 camera. What
Oh boy,
it doesn't clip onto this thing. How about right here? Right there.
That's better.
There it is. There it is.
I was getting nauseous over here. All the movement.
Oh, where is that? Have you done AZG at Hotmail?
I sent him one, yeah.
Okay.
If you want to text him and say we're getting rolling, tell him he's working with old guys today. We start on time, man, or a little early.
I know. That's crazy, Doug. That is crazy, Doug.
Oh man, I don't really know what we should do with this all the way because I told everybody just the Bon Iver album, but it's hard not to talk about other stuff,
Off script.
It really is. Hey, has he emailed you, he says?
AZ Griffiths?
AZ Griffiths at Hotmail.
That's the one. Hey, you can't keep doing that, Jason. You're going to kill me.
No, I'll keep checking.
It's all fun and games until Phil.
Yeah, now it's serious.
You know the rest.
Buckle.
Actually, you left before right after you left. There was a kid named Tim Satterfield who showed up at our college ministry, and he would always start sayings and never finish them.
Yeah,
he would say, "The going get tough." You know the rest. That's why we just said, All right, Andrew, it's not working. Did you get an email?
I don't think I'm in.
Greg at Stirflex.
No, it's not from there. It's from agoragreg@gmail.com.
agoragreg@gmail.com.
Yeah, check your junk mail just in case.
Check your junk mail. Send that thing again.
I'm going to do it again. If it doesn't work the first time, there's a very good chance it won't work this time.
Okay.
All right.
AZ Griffiths?
Yeah.
Andrew. It stands for Andrew Zachary. I gave him the Zachary.
Nice work, man.
I wanted the name. Yeah.
.com.
That's because I had a good friend. He ended up going to Dartmouth named Zach Holt, really good water polo player. I just liked him, and I liked his name.
Zach Holt?
Yeah, Zach Holt.
It reminds me of Arrested Development. Steve Holt.
Yeah. We peaked. We've been watching this. What's that one? That's a really good one. All right. Do you see my new flyer? Look at this new flyer. Oh, you can't see nothing. 11:15. Look at that.
That's pretty crazy. And you know what?
Look at this. This is the other side. Yeah, you can. Right there.
That's
Is,
awesome.
is this like a church advertisement?
Yeah, this is a nightclub / church.
Oh, man.
No, it's
At 11:15 on a
it's-
Sunday.
Yeah, it's one of those, those party clubs, like the
Do
party
you stick
cards.
them on cars? Is that the
No,
idea?
no.
You stick-
I just hand them to people. I just say,
In
hey,
parking lots.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. 'Cause we get the club ones on our car all the time.
yeah. But I think that's illegal. I'm not sure, but and I think if I put them on cars, it backfires. Like people start hating you. 'Cause
That's
they're like,
the
now
nice
I gotta
thing.
clean this thing.
Hey,
Now I
you
gotta
ever
clean this
taken
thing.
any design courses or anything, Jason?
No, I learned from this. Yeah, it's fun. I got a cool little story about that. Are we waiting for somebody else, or are we waiting?
We're waiting for
Andrew's
Greg.
not gonna-
Is anybody else
Yeah,
hearing
where's
that
Greg?
crazy, like, I don't know.
It's Bono. It's
I got
you
a
too,
click.
I think.
Bono
It's
Vox.
Joshua. I got Joshua Tree going on the back. Is that what you're hearing?
No. I hear like a really bad fuzzy noise every once in a while on your end, I think.
My end?
Every once in a while. I think it's when you're getting a call or something.
Oh, it
Like
reminds me. Turn that phone off.
Yeah. Unless
Anyway,
you're waiting for your
I
brother
was
to call you back.
working back in the turn of the century, 1999, 2000, that kind of thing. In just Newport Beach, and my worship guy was really good. That was leading. He was an intern just like me. He was really good at graphic design, and a couple years later he left where we were working, and then he kind of was burned by the church like a lot of people. But then he started this thing called Club Penguin, and then sold it for $240 million or something like that. And so he's a billionaire up in Canada now. But that's where I learned like kind of my graphic eye. But still, and another coworker of mine, a girl named Melissa Dickinson. She
Okay,
really-
yeah. Are you hearing that, Phil, or is it just me?
I'm hearing that little the little clicking, the little hummingbird sound.
Yeah.
I unplugged my speakers. Is it my camera?
Oh,
There
it might have
is.
just went off.
That's way better.
Oh, I moved
It
my
comes
keyboard.
and goes, Jason. I'm not sure. It might be your keyboard. I think it sounds like too much electronics
Oh,
in one spot.
there's Andy!
What?
Andy! What
was
the
that?
hell?
It was in my
It works.
it was in my spam.
I told you to
Samsonite.
check that.
Check the spam.
I said exactly that. That's exactly
Check
what I
the-
said
that's
to
my
do.
that's my side pill. Check the spam.
Oh boy. Where's Gilbertson? We need to get this thing rolling.
Yeah, I wrote a song about it. Want to hear? Here it goes.
That dude can write some songs though.
He does.
Hey, how do you on Google Hangouts here? How do you get the video things to stop
Flashing.
like going on and off when you talk? You know your video.
It's
Yeah.
a setting. I don't know if you can control it in yours or not. Do you want me to get it so that it doesn't move at all?
No, I don't know. It's just a
Phil,
little bit
have you
of-
ever met my little brother? That's my little brother Andrew.
Hey, brother.
It looks really weird though.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
saying.
Yeah,
It goes automatically
What?
to whoever is talking.
who looks.
Yeah.
What looks weird?
It flashes whoever's talking. So
Yeah,
if
I like that.
I like it too.
all right.
Good contribution, Andrew. Good contribution.
Yeah, this is
Now, Andrew, are you a person of faith? What is your ecclesial background?
Oh boy.
Yeah. I grew up just following Jason around wherever he was.
Well,
So-
that's I
Yeah.
think that's a common story for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you're an evangelical.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I would say so. I'm the typical white man faith.
That's good. You can be proud of that.
And he's a
Yeah.
millennial. He's our millennial. He's our voice of that we need to learn from.
Well, it's
He's
great
at
because
Fuller too, Phil.
Yeah, he's
I like all. It's fun to see. There's some ecclesial backgrounds here. We've got some prezzies,
Yeah.
some evangelicals, some Episcopals, some Reformed Catholics, and a Catholic.
Yeah. I kind of wish
Phil,
I
you're
was
not.
Jewish,
Oh
though.
yeah, Gilbertson's Catholic. Have you ever? Showed
Yeah.
up? I like Phil. You're not Catholic.
I am. I'm Reformed Catholic.
Reformed Catholic, maybe.
Augustinian Catholic, my friend.
Hey, you can control the video if you go. There's on the side of your screen on the left side. There's
Yeah.
like it looks like a slide bar kind of.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
Yep.
If you go on that, you can turn off anybody's videos. So if it gets to be too much,
So
just go
long,
on
J
and-
Dog.
I don't think we can tell who you turn off either, so I think you're okay. But like, you'd still hear them, you just wouldn't see them. So
All
I
right,
think
well, I
if it gets
clicked
to
on
be
the
too
link.
much on your end,
Okay, thanks. It's
How
just
long-
it's kind of like watching a Jason Bourne movie right now.
yeah. It's a little disorienting.
It's like
hard, the
epilepsy.
more people, the harder that is too.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Gilbertson. I don't know what the heck that guy's doing.
Text him.
That's
Call
what I'm doing, dude. I'm on it.
Remember you said he might take me to a Green Bay game? That hasn't happened yet.
He did say that.
That's the end of that story. I don't.
Good story though.
Yeah.
Good story.
Yeah.
I like the part in the middle.
It's noon out here. What are you guys doing? I've already painted the house. What are you guys doing?
California guy. Wait, is it 7 o'clock there or is it 6 o'clock?
It's 7 a.m.
It is 7.
Oh man.
Oh, 'cause that's right. You're
Oh,
Andrew's in SoCal, right?
I forgot that you weren't. I thought you were in. I didn't, Phil. I thought you were answering for my little. I thought you were answering for my little brother. I forgot you were in NorCal.
Buddy, come on now.
Where are you in
They are-
NorCal?
It
yeah,
is-
they are two different countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Davis.
Oh, cool. That's
Yes.
my.
But you'll all secede together, right?
I would doubt that. I don't know. There'll be two secessions, Nor and So.
Yeah.
Which half is bankrupting the other half?
Southern California is taking our water away.
That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to hear. There's got to be some anger
Oh
there.
yeah. There's
Good.
a lot of bitterness.
Good food in both, though. Good food in both. Good food in both. And Phil, my little brother, he started to say something, but I don't remember what he said. Oh, his bride is from there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Up by you.
she's from Auburn. But
Oh,
which is
yeah.
kind of yeah.
yeah, I know her. I know Auburn. I know it
How-
well. Been there.
How often do you go to Russian River Russian Brewery?
Not as many times as you think, but we get over there. But I have like 4 kids right now, so
Yeah. So that's a
it's hard
veto.
to pack up the bags and head to the hills with the buddies.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going around.
That's good beer. There's a good beer out there. Right
Plenty.
there. Pliny.
All right, in a
do
little
get
bit.
plenty
If
in the
Gilbertson
store.
doesn't enjoy it, we're just gonna go without him.
Pliny the Younger.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But Michigan's
you-
got a lot of good beers too.
Yeah, a lot. I think Bell's is still my favorite. Have you been to Bell's? There's a Bell's down in Kalamazoo.
I had a buddy bring me some back last year, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, they do good. They do some good stuff down there in the zoo. K-Zoo, that's what they call it down there.
That's kind of creepy.
What's going on, dude?
Oh man, that camera, dude. Every time.
What is that?
I don't know if that's worse than when you didn't have a camera or not. I can't figure it out.
He bugged me for a year, and so then it went on half off, and at $6, I got this camera for $6. With shipping.
Just your enormous forehead every time.
What? I take defense at that.
All right, hey, while we're waiting for Greg,
Okay.
I don't know if he's gonna jump on or not. He said he was going
Never.
to, but it's hard to know with that guy.
We should do
Uh,
one best, maybe one
Okay,
best until we
somebody's
get.
going crazy.
I'm moving around, maybe.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's you.
I haven't moved anything except my head.
That's better. No, that's better. But it does do some weird stuff once you get moving around.
I don't know. That's weird. Just stay still.
So our intention when we started this thing was that we were going to do just like a 15-minute block on Bon Iver.
Yeah.
And you guys were going to weigh in on it because Jason and I have talked about it for each of like the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
And I'm
said-
firmly entrenched in the I never listened to Bon Iver anyway. I didn't like his early stuff. I don't like this stuff. It doesn't like. I'm fine with whatever. But Jason's trying to like this one. He doesn't really love it that much yet. And so we thought we'd have a panel of people we like who we trust their musical sensibilities and see what's going on with it. So that was our original intention. We can talk about some more stuff if you guys want to, but that's what we promised our viewers last week.
Yeah, our listeners or viewers or whatever.
Yeah,
And
whatever we have. Yeah.
And whenever we came to that conclusion, like I said, hey, I'm gonna tell my little brother to listen to it because he often likes things that I don't, and I was wondering if he could like it and explain why if he did like it. So
Right.
maybe Andrew can start with, okay, did you listen to Bon Iver, the new one? I can't hear you.
Yeah. We lost all audio with.
We lost the audio.
We lost your audio. Have you muted it? Breaker. Well, you can see him, and he's speaking into his finger.
Yeah, I think you're eating the mic now. That's they call that eating the mic.
Oh, now it's
Greg, are you recording this whole thing, or do you edit this down? Right.
I will edit it.
Okay.
all right.
It'll depend on
Okay.
how much.
Take
Oh, wait,
take
wait.
two.
Record a
Take
podcast
two.
with Jason
Take
and
two.
never edit. That's
So when you're,
I learned that a long time
Are you
ago.
gonna say go? Like,
Oh no, we're recording. Yeah.
Oh.
This is live to
Yeah.
the internet. If somebody happened
This
to be
was
stumbling onto our stream, they could watch this unedited.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it'll go up as a
Do you have
podcast.
second
edited.
microphone, Andrew. Do you have a second microphone? Nod. Yes or no?
Hey, you
Can
can
you
also
hear?
just use your computer
No.
microphone. It'd probably be okay.
Yeah.
Is it gonna have feedback though?
There you go.
Oh,
No,
there you
that
go.
should be okay.
Feedback?
How's that?
You may still need the headphones, just not the microphone.
They probably have one jack though, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that one.
No, that's what you. Yeah, that's
You're
working.
fine. Yeah, you're working.
Keep
fine.
talking, Andrew.
I'm okay.
Yeah. It's
So
a
far, so
little,
good.
it's a little reverby, but it
It's not.
starts with what's the name of Bon Iver's new one?
Million.
Million. Okay. And then I said, hey, you need to listen to this, see if you like it. And then if you like it, tell me why you like it.
Yeah, I listened to it and I did not like it.
What? We're looking for more people that'll like it so that I can I can understand, because there's a lot of my friends that love it.
Yeah,
Why did we put those guys on the podcast?
there's aspects about it, but
Do they write for Pitchfork?
No, they're not right. Actually, only like because I just saw tons of positive feedback on Facebook friends. So they're not like friends. Like they're just friends, like loosely associated. But one of them was, he plays like every night at Sharky's, down at, or like once a week down at Sharky's in Newport Beach. He's like, he's a phenomenal musician. And so I'm like, oh, okay, he likes it. And so I was thinking, and he's a little younger than me, and so maybe I was hoping, I was reaching.
So Jason, have you been a Bon Iver fan from the beginning, kind of deal?
I was, yes. There was a hipster kid he was a youth kid of mine that grew up and was a youth pastor at the time in the same town as me. And when that Skinny Love song came out, and I hadn't heard of them, it was before like they were playing them on the radio and stuff like that. And this hipster, really cool kid said, "Man, you got to check this band out." And I checked him out. I loved that first album a lot. I liked it a lot. I liked what he was doing. He was playing around and doing good stuff. And then the second one was, I thought it was good. I think it was like not great, but I think the first one was great. The second one was good. And then this one came out, and all these people were posting on Facebook, this is changing my life. And they were taking pictures of themselves in coffee shops and saying, man, this is the dream. This is the life. This is like heaven on earth. And so then I borrowed it from the library, which I need to thank Phil. We need to pause right now
Shout
and
out to
just
Phil
say,
for borrowing from the library.
yeah, he
I always borrow from the library.
you taught me that. That's how I found Josh Ritter, and that's how I found it's just fun when you're just trying out bands and you don't have to buy anything. You just listen to them and you say, "Oh man, I love that." And a lot of times it ends in a purchase, because then I go and listen to it and I'm like, "Man, that's ridiculous." And then boom. Anywho, so I borrow from the library, and I get the first track in. I'm like, "Okay, this stuff's pretty good. This is okay. This kind of sounds like it." And then the second one, it starts going, and I'm like, "What? Jiggle what? Like what?" And
So
so,
That's
Jason did
exactly
that.
what it sounds like.
The electronic,
It translated well.
yeah,
the experimentation, the electronic nature of this album threw you for a loop,
it did.
Yeah.
and you
And-
weren't a fan. Yeah.
It and I've since I like some of these people, and I've found, from years of youth ministry and college ministry and ministry in general, if you like somebody's favorite band, that's a bridge. That's like, I like a lot more bands than I probably would if I wasn't a pastor, just because I give things second, third chances. I've been trying to listen to this thing. I threw it on some mixes, like yeah, but so the experimental side of it is what I disliked first, like the and then the JT-ness of it, like the Justin
As in
Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, as in not the true JT, James Taylor, but the Justin Timberlake-ness.
Gosh, it's so hard to keep up with you on this.
No, because later in the album, there's some like JT sounding songs, it just straight pop. Like,
I'm gonna have to take your word for that because I got through 2.5 songs and I was done. I couldn't keep it. I listened to the first song and I got halfway through the first song. I was like, this kind of sucks. And then I went to the second song and I got what you just described. And I felt like I was being assaulted. And I was like, I don't think this is what he's going for. I checked to make sure I was hearing the actual recording. So I went to like I only listened to it on YouTube because I wasn't going to buy it because I have past history here. But I jumped to a different link and I was like, oh wow, that sounds the same on all of them. That's a terrible sounding song. And then I went to the third one, and when I couldn't finish the third one, I was like, I love our podcast, but I'm not gonna listen to a whole album for this conversation.
That crackling sound on that track, the way he made that is he actually took an old Neil Young tape, and he took all of the tape out and crinkled it up, and then they wrote on the tape, and then they put it back in the tape, and then they recorded onto that tape. It's true. And that's how he got that sound. So he was
I can get that. Jason just did it without any of that stuff.
But this is why this is one of the major reasons we love Phil Majorans.
Yeah, he knows stuff like this.
He's forgotten more about music than we know about music. He knows his theory. He knows all this stuff.
He's also made up a lot about music that we will never know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Like that story. None of us are going to look that up to find out if
You
it's
can
true.
look it up.
Look that up. That actually bumps it up a little bit. And as I've been trying to get it over and over, like to like it, it's interesting that the ones that I liked right out of the gate the most, I don't like as much. But that one that he has something about turning around, and he's running his vocals through some vocal processor.
A Messina. It's a kind of software. Anyway, yeah, he kind of had his engineer invent the vocal software for this album that then allows him to do all that stuff live when he harmonizes the saxophones and stuff. Anyway, that's a side note.
I was waiting for the saxophones because I had like an inside scoop that there's a bunch of saxophones.
I think that's more than a side note. I think that's the front note. I love that to be. This is a Phil Majorans forward because when he does succeed in doing something with that. What was it called?
So it's
what's the name of that thing?
Messina. It's a software,
Messina.
But then the way he wrote the entire album, instead of writing it on a guitar, there's this little synthesizer. It's $800 that what came out about 8 years ago or something, and it's like this big, and so he took this synth everywhere, and the synth has the ability to sample your voice live, to loop, and then also to do different keyboard pads. So the way he wrote the album wasn't in a typical guitar.
Hey, hold on a second. Is anybody else getting a weird noise there when Phil's talking?
Maybe.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Is that the same thing that Katie Tunstall does?
Nope. Now I'm getting a weird noise when Jason's talking. And is it just on my end, or is everybody else hearing it?
I don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
Andrew, I got nothing from you. Nod yes or no.
No.
You're not hearing it?
It's you,
It's
Greg.
just me hearing it. Oh.
I hear Andrew.
All right.
I hear Andrew.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Keep going.
that-
Sorry, I got nothing. It sounds like everybody's in a synthesizer right now. So that's
Is that Messina thing? Is that the same thing Katie Tunstall uses and like all those people that do their loops and their voices?
Well, no, that's the Messina thing is more complicated because that was kind of invented by Justin, but the same sort of idea in terms of fragmenting your song structure and your songs are, using technology.
Yeah.
So for me, I'll give you guys a smackdown on this because I've been thinking about this album a lot. I think part of this is it shows kind of a generational divide, but the reason
that's why I was hoping Andrew. Come on, buddy. But keep going.
Yeah.
Phil.
So the reason is, do you want your art to reveal or to hide things? And this album in particular, Justin isn't using art to reveal anything necessarily. He's using it to hide. And so the electronics hide things, right? I saw this album live a few weeks ago. And basically it was, the show was really cool, but really felt like emotionally completely disconnected. I mean, it was Justin within a huge band and light show, but he just kind of hid behind a beard, a keyboard, and tons of processing and electronic stuff. So in some ways, I think that Justin is probably fed up with exposure and fame and is lost in a lot of ways and feels lost. And so he's using that in his art to hide. And so I think that's one way it can come across as impersonal to a lot of people. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And I think can you hear me, Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you guys now again. So
okay, good. That's really interesting because that's my favorite part as I've been trying to grow to like it. My favorite part is that one where he uses the Messina, which I was just instructed what that was.
Yeah, that's a name for the software he used.
The software. I'm going to misuse that left and right. Okay. I'm going to throw in Messina right now. And then, but when in the middle of that song, when he yells and he takes the Lord's name in vain and says, turn around, like, I'll just fill in, for Pete's sake, turn around. But that doesn't really, it doesn't fill in the passion. But I feel like at that moment, he's kind of, I could see where you're saying that he's hiding stuff. Because I feel like up until that moment, he's kind of hiding his passion. And then for some reason, he's he's kind of, I think it's one of those breakthrough moments where he's trying to reveal there's so much, it really plays well because that Messina, you hear like 20 or 30 voices, and some of them are in anger, some of them are at like pain, and some of them are just passion. And it's just, I thought that's really neat. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a plug for the album, or for whatever the name of that song is. For Pete's sake, turn around.
Yeah, I mean, I think what he's trying to do, I get what he's trying to do, and I appreciate experimenting with the electronic stuff to express just our age in general and the angst and all that. I just don't think he's totally connected it yet. And if you like your music to be narrative driven and to reveal things and to be quote unquote authentic, as our generation does, then Justin's moving away from that. But I didn't get the sense that he's got enough hold on the technology that he's able to do that well as an artist yet, if that makes sense. So I think he's struggling, but I think he may have hit his ceiling and is trying to go a little too far with it.
Can I give an analogy, Phil?
What's that?
I have an analogy for what I think you're describing.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're saying this album is like when a pastor has an illustration, but it doesn't actually fit the sermon.
Yeah.
But he likes the illustration so much that he can't not use it.
That's it. It's the medium. So Justin likes the medium, and he as a quote unquote individual, wants to express himself that way. Well, that's the other thing, is that the music doesn't reveal because it's still all about him, and I don't think he can break outside of himself yet. Like, he's still using the medium as a means of self-expression, which is interesting. Like, I was trying to compare the show I saw of him a couple weeks ago with when I saw Sufjan last year. Completely different in the sense that Sufjan, using the same sort of medium, electronic mediums, totally pulled it off because it was transcendent, and he used it in a way that you knew exactly what was happening within an artistic narrative. Whereas the Justin show, I got no sense. It was just completely disconnected emotionally for me. Whereas Sufjan is using the same sort of instrumentation, but like brought us there and brought us outside of even Sufjan's pain to relate to something that was even deeper. And I don't think that Justin's been able to connect to anything transcendent yet. I think he's still stuck in himself, and I feel bad for him.
Andrew, what do you think? Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think I really liked his first like analysis. The fact that it's trying to be disconnected. I really like that. But yeah.
That said, it's interesting, like the whole
yeah.
the weird numbers thing, you know?
Yeah, that's where I was.
Yeah.
My biggest fascination was the numbers, like relating to like the track songs and stuff.
You know, I think that it's actually Justin is attempting to pull it into a narrative through those numbers, because 22, which is the song's first album, or song's first single, that's the number Justin always liked. That was his football jersey number.
Yeah.
And in some sense, that represents who Justin is. Then for Justin, the million at the end represents the other. And so Justin's taking you on this journey where he's trying to connect his self to the other. I mean, this sounds weird, but I think it's true.
Yeah.
And in between, those numbers are significant. I mean, the 33 represents
715. 715. I was excited about that one.
That's Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wisconsin 33 is when
represent.
the aged Christ died.
Yeah, and the song was 3 minutes and 33 seconds long.
Yep. So I think he's trying, like, and that's an obvious way to try to make narrative, but still the music's too unconnected between those numbers that he's not quite there yet.
Can we say that Bon Iver are numerologists now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil says.
Categorically.
Yeah.
Like just the number part. Like it was like a puzzle. I really liked that.
Yeah.
I think you remember I sent this thing to my little brother and said, hey, I didn't really send it to him because I didn't own it. I just told him, go listen to this thing. And so he listened to this thing. And my main thing was if he likes it to my end game is I want to understand why people like it, like why people, and I think we're getting to, I think Phil, I think that's excellent. Just insight as to, I think, and this is a question for Andrew. Did you think your generation likes things revealed or hidden more?
I think for me personally, I kind of want it revealed just because I'm not musically creative or lyrically creative. So the closest I get to that for me personally is like Alt J. I really like Alt J. But I can still like connect with him. He talks about like the professional and like where the wild things are. Like I get like, but he's still cryptic like that. But I want to like it. But I think there are more artistic people in this like generation that want to not be revealed.
I think that's
I got an idea, Jason. I got an idea here.
I got a mind blower, man. I think that's
okay. You better use yours first then.
Because I'm going to forget it in 5 seconds. But I think it's like a more callback to the classical music. It's a more callback to revealing some things but hiding others. And you know, like if you're stranded on a desert island, you don't want anything with lyrics. You want something that has something like probably just a musical piece that's complex, but has enough depth that you can make up your own lyrics, or you can find the truths within the complexity, that kind of thing. And I think because you just talked about Sufjan Stevens. I can't follow him as he's been following this generational, like hiding a little bit. Wow, because I think he peaked at 7. For my generation, he peaked at 7 Swans. Like, just a straight up, like, this is a parable. You know, I'm going to tell you songs, but they're thinly veiled stories with meaning. You know, I don't like to sit down and think. You know, I like to just sit down and listen. You know, whereas that's a gold mine right there that you kind of uncovered. That's neat. Sorry,
yeah,
great.
It's a different way of I think it's a different way of like even understand, like finding meaning, right? So you're talking about lyrically driven parable, right? Which is I guess our generation, but maybe older. I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah, Super Bowl. Yeah,
hey.
Yeah.
it's
But
like
there's
60s folk protest stuff. Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, like what the millennial generation, whatever, or my generation, Sufjan, whatever. There's still there's meaning as much in the medium and the emotions of it, right? So
Yeah.
where I don't like the Bon Iver album is his use of sound is still really romantic. Like his use of sound isn't taking me anywhere beyond he likes pretty sounds. So he does pretty sounds really well, but it just comes across as sentimental new age to me because they're too pretty and they're in the wrong context. So he never uses sound in a way that leads me to understanding beauty that's complex. It seems cheap sometimes. Does that make sense?
Like,
And so so I don't think he's quite there, and even his own, like, he's still trying to like he's trying to connect some sort of meeting between this linear world and then a totally disconnected world, and he's not there yet. And when he gets there, Sufjan, man, that guy can do both, and he's amazing. It's like Mozart. But Bon Iver's kind of lost, I think. You get what I'm saying about the romantic state? You know, like how his sounds are too romantic sometimes.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't know his.
Nailed it. That's a high
Nailed it,
C
Andrew.
above A. That's a high C.
I feel like Jason and Andrew should just do their own Bon Iver album with no electronics. All right, I want to move, Phil. Like, I think what you've opened up is super helpful for us. I want to move off the album for a second and talk about the like obscuring and revealing. And I'm curious, do you, for all of you guys, do you think that's a generational trait because of the way our lives have become public through like social media and things like that, so that that we want our art to hide us in a certain way, or is it unrelated to that? Like, cause I was thinking recently about some of this like Gen X millennial stuff that we talk about all the time anyway, but there's like the greatest, like, it's at the same time that they want their art to kind of hide and reject and all that, like still becoming famous or getting followers is like the height of like millennial passion, it seems like to me. But I'm curious, like, but at the same time too, there's like the actual communities where you can really be known and revealed are terrifying in some ways to millennials. So I don't know. I see both of those things going on. I'm just curious where the intersections are, Phil.
No, I think you're right. I mean, here's one. That's an argument. Here's where it's weird, but you could look at Kanye that way and say, well, how is Kanye hiding himself? Well, he's hiding himself through his overemphasis on his pride, right? On anti-humility. And so, I mean, I think he sees his art and his pompousness as the way that he's expressing how you have to hide yourself in. I mean, that's the most gracious artistic take on who Kanye is. At the same time, you become what, you know, art imitates life. You become what you're expressing, right? So that's the danger there. But think about even in our Gen X generation. Remember, Jason, when everybody started using monikers instead of their names?
Yeah.
For like bands and stuff like that. Like, I think in Gen X, that was one of the first like kind of hints at that wait a minute, the overexposure thing isn't all it's cracked up to be. I got to start pulling back. And so people start using monikers. Like, I even use a moniker for my Twitter account, right? I don't want to put my name on my Twitter account. And part of that is because I want to hide that part because I don't think the world, you know, should have it. So I think this is interesting, Greg, because art imitates that all the time.
That feels like a different impulse to me, though.
Yeah.
That feels like it seems like maybe it's the same impulse, but from a different side, right?
Yeah.
Like, so our generation didn't grow up with this stuff, and all of a sudden it's there, and we can be too known too fast, and that stuff sort of scares us, so we pull back. But we still want our social interactions to reveal the world to us in a certain way.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the millennial side has like just been raised with the world being like everything available all the time. So it's sort of always, there's a certain openness to the world, and maybe art's the place we can hide from that. I don't know.
It's a place where we want to believe art can help us transcend, right? Which is the thing that I think when you go down that route, it's easy to become sentimental and romantic then. And that's where I think Bon Iver gets I mean, even on his earlier albums, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
Right.
it's idealization, just like the hippies idealized things in a certain sense, a utopia. There's a
Yeah.
way, in sense, our generation of millennials will idealize their art and think of that as an escape or a drug. So it becomes over romanticized, and then the art never actually gets connected to life and utility, and it never becomes useful. It's just like an ornament.
Yeah,
That's my thing.
and that's how Trump gets elected.
Hello.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
That's the. I mean, that's the. There's a jump there, but essentially you idealize political action in a certain way, and you can't imagine how that's not sort of grounded in a real, like, it becomes idealized in such a way that people who wouldn't believe that ideal must not actually exist, and then you find out they do, and all of a sudden there's this rupture.
I was trying to think back where I first experienced a band that was doing what you're talking about, Phil, of hiding behind their medium and giving a message. And I saw a band, I don't even know what year it is, but another hipster brought me to this band called Sigur Rós or whatever, Sugar Ross or not Sugar Ray, but Sigur Rós or whatever, the Yancey or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And Icelandic guy. And we went into the theater in Hollywood, and it was seated, like we had seats, and everybody was just sitting there. And he had negative film just casting onto the screen, and you never saw the band. The band was the shadow in this negative film that was shooting on the screen. And then he starts going, oh, he starts doing his falsetto stuff. And at the end of the show, everybody's standing, and he's going, oh, it's kind of Bon Iver, this new album, to think about it. It has kind of the same, it's guilty of the same stuff. It's like very romantic, and everyone around me was bawling.
Yeah.
Like they were crying. And I was like, I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And what I was likening it to, because this was, I think it was early 2000s, maybe even late 90s. I'm not even sure. But I was likening it to my experience in contemporary worship in the church.
Yeah.
And I was thinking at the time, because I was a youth pastor at the time, I think I was actually a youth intern at the time. And I was thinking, man, I think the world is just starving and wanting to be out of themselves and to experience and transcend. They just want that transcendence. They don't even know why they want it or what they want to transcend to, or it was so weird, because the next night I was at a worship night and there's people crying and people raising their hands, but in awe of God. And it was and anyway, I just wanted to throw that in the mix and say, what the heck? What do you think about that?
Another
Some weird concerts.
I have.
I've been to those. I totally get what you're saying, Jay.
Yeah.
I was just a little bit of a side note.
Do you think that's where this hiding?
Yeah.
Hiding in the art. Who was your first concert, or anyone on the panel? Just who was the first person that you were struck when you went to their concerts and you were like, man, this is different. This isn't telling a narrative. This is hiding. I think you put your finger on something, Phil. I think that's a good kind of distinguishing marker about this genre of music. It's kind of hiding stuff.
Yeah, think about
I don't know about
Radiohead. Why Radiohead? Think about Kid A, right?
That's
think about the context of the 90s when you got people bearing their souls. You still got Eddie Vedder bearing his soul.
Yeah.
And then along comes Radiohead, and in their very medium, they hide everything through electronics and they become more cryptic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that album's considered a classic now. Why? Because it's one of the first ones mainstream to actually hide in that way. Anyway.
And maybe,
sorry, Greg, what were you saying?
Maybe you're just going left and right, unlocking things for J Dog over here, Jay Griffiths. I always hated Kid A. I was the only. That's where they lost me. Like, OK Computer, I thought that's the pinnacle of alternative music. I loved that album, but then they came out Kid A, and I was like, what And you're kind of giving me some deciphering tools. That's excellent. Sorry.
That is cool stuff. I've like I was thinking about this because everybody you've listed, I can't listen to at all. Like I can't get like 20 seconds into a song because there's just too much noise for me. Like there's too much sound happening. Like I can't take it. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Like I'm overloaded as soon as it starts. So like if the hiding works because I stop looking almost immediately. Like, but I was thinking about
once
like,
again. Let me pause for a second before you start.
Yeah.
But once again, you and your nemesis, my esposa, my wife, are of the same accord.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Malia.
Turn that off. That hurts my soul. That's her line. Turn that off. That hurts my soul.
She's right about that. She's right about that. I'm with her. I was thinking about this, like this hiding, and because I don't listen to any of this stuff. I've never been to a concert where I feel like that's the case. But I kind of like. I was thinking about this, like there's a way in which this is why I hate musicals. Like
No.
Now we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere.
And, yeah. You just let that one simmer for a while. That's all. That's all I got. I just wanted to get it on record again that I hate musicals.
And C.S. Lewis is a jerk.
Yeah, some things have to be repeated.
I love it. Andrew, what about you? I want to hear one.
Too.
I hate musicals too. No, about like does that being like smack dab in the middle of being a millennial, or all your, because I wonder what you hear. Because because you're 17 years younger, and a lot of times I find myself as I think I laid a foundation for what you're gonna like in music. But one of my favorite parts is that's not true. I think as you've grown up and you have your own ears and you have your own generational way of looking at things, and is that what appeals? Is that what makes is that the big difference? Because if you put my musical library next to yours, they're drastically different. Can you what is that? Is that
when you respond by talking, it works better, Andrew. You're gonna want to do that.
I'm trying to read your face on this one, but I can't. He's hiding.
For me, I just have to. I'm more similar. I gravitate more towards you music than my peers, but I feel like I have to understand at least a part of it, or otherwise I'm frustrated. I don't like complete hiding, but I like the only thing that's different. I feel like with me and you is I like more ED. I do like more EDM stuff. But I don't like it to be like open and airy, like Bon Iver. Like there isn't like a melodic, like thing going on.
Maybe this is a good time to ask you, why do you love the band Muse?
I don't know. It's a good time. Yeah.
Because I think that's what Radiohead split and went Kid A.
Yeah.
And then I think Muse came straight out of Kid A. I think they set them on the trajectory to love. But you love that band. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So Andrew, before you answer this question, you should know this entire podcast has just been an intervention to get to this question. We don't actually care about Bon Iver at all. We need to talk to you about how you listen to the band Muse. That's all we got.
Are they Canadian?
No, they're British, and I'm pretty sure, like these riots that are taking place around me right now, that they're using Muse for some of their soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I like them because a lot of their songs. The reason I love them was a lot of their songs were like about hiding, about keeping stuff like secret, and it was very like hidden in the shadows, like running away. And they came out with that song that's like I forget the name of it, but it's a love song, and they made the music video like. Have you ever seen that picture where it's the couple and they're making out on the street and there's a riot behind them. It's like a really famous.
Oh, in Vancouver, yeah.
Yeah, and she had like anxiety and stuff. So it hits me on multiple levels because Jamie has anxiety, and so like it was just like a love song. And
Did you like to make out in the street?
I do like to make out anywhere.
That's me too. I'm with you. I might like this band. I never heard it before.
Phil, I'd love to hear. Phil, I consider you a musical guru. Weigh in on Muse. Do you like Muse? Do you hate Muse? What do you think?
I don't listen to Muse, but I get it.
Okay.
It's extremely like Muse. Muse is the logical extension of Queen, but for the millennial generation, because it's extremely melodic. It's something that captures you and sweeps you up right away, and it's linear. So it's something that's accessible, but at the same time, the way that they integrate electronics and then lyrically, they're talking about they're talking about how some things still need to be hidden. They're talking about like the security state and about how we're all being watched, and that what do we do even though like we've got all this crazy stuff we've created, right? Like we fashioned the tools, and then the tools are now fashioning us. How do we find that scene that we can kiss in the street in the midst of all this confusion, right? So there's this like want to like have peace in the midst of confusion. Muse doesn't always give any answers for that, but it does express like in a real melodic, accessible way some of those things, right? It's the same thing with the EDM craze. That's what's crazy. So EDM, no lyrics.
Yeah, and I can gravitate towards that.
Yeah, because it's extremely melodic. Like it grabs you by the throat. But the purpose of EDM in general is to make you transcend, right? It's like a drug, really.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to any kind of EDM concert or rave, it's all about transcending. I mean, it's about escaping the pain that we live in, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't always a great alternative, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a Christian alternative regularly, but it certainly is powerful.
Definitely.
What's EDM stand for?
Electronic dance music.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, buddy. Jason, you are old.
Yeah, it's all the stuff you hate.
Yeah.
Jason, even I knew that one, man. That's just from watching soccer, though.
That's crazy. That's from watching soccer.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Here's one that I'll throw you, Jason. Remember when Taylor Swift was dating Calvin Harris?
I heard of that.
So Calvin Harris is one of the big EDM musicians in the world. Now throw that one. I mean, put those two mediums together for a minute to represent millennialism.
Yeah, and then did you see Fortune 500? Taylor Swift, she made the most money of any woman.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
Hey, are we going to turn this into a Taylor Swift podcast? Because I do like Taylor Swift.
I was just going to say
that. I get on board for that.
They sing the song Bye Bye Bye.
Sorry, Phil.
Bye, bye.
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
I have no idea where that went there.
Yeah.
All right, we have talked for a long time. This is nothing like a 5 Best podcast, so I don't know what we're gonna do with this thing at all. This might be a bonus episode.
This is just
Bon Iver episode.
4 people talking.
It's only like 4 minutes about Bon Iver.
Del Taco's my best.
It's just making fun of Andrew.
Yeah.
What was that, Andrew?
We can go real fast. Del Taco's my favorite. There you go. 1.
Oh, he was trying to do a 5 best. That's funny.
He's trying to do a 5 best. He's got them right there. He's just going quick. Oh man, I think we'll just do a different 5 best. It'll be good to skip a week so we don't have to talk about the election.
Absolutely.
But thank you guys for doing this. I appreciate it. I know Jason appreciates it. It's fun to talk to you guys.
Andrew, I miss you. I love you, buddy. Phil, I miss you too, man. It's a brother from another mother.
Love you, Gretchen.
All right. Peace, guys.
Bye.
Bye.